Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to the Merchant of Venice. I am Pemberton. This is part 3, and it builds to the most famous courtroom scene in all of literature. Antonio's ships are wrecked, the bond is forfeit, and Shylock comes to the court of Venice with his scales and his knife, wanting his pound of flesh and refusing every offer of money, for this is no longer about money. Into the court, disguised as a young male doctor of law, comes Portia, as she pleads with Shylock to show mercy. In a speech everyone half knows the quality of mercy is not strained. When he refuses, she grants him his bond to the letter, and then springs the trap that letter contains. Watch the whole terrible business turn on a single word, and watch, too, how the victorious court treats the defeated old man, in a way that should trouble us as much as it satisfied Shakespeare's first audience. Let us go on.
My lord and lady, it is now the time for us who have stood by and watched our wishes come true to say, Joy to you! Joy to you, my lord and lady! My lord Bassanio, and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy you could wish for yourselves, for I am sure you could wish none away from me. And when your honours intend to solemnize the bargain of your faith, I beg you to let me be married at that same time too. With all my heart, if you can find a wife. I thank your lordship, you have found me one. My eyes, my lord, can move as quickly as yours. You saw the mistress, I saw the maid. You loved, I loved. Delay belongs no more to me, my lord, than it does to you. Your fortune depended on those caskets there, and as it turns out, so did mine. For after wooing here until I nearly sweated again, and swearing until the roof of my mouth was dry with oaths of love, at last, if promises hold, I won a promise from this fair one here to have her love, provided your fortune won her mistress. Is this true, Nerissa? Madam, it is, if you are pleased with it. And do you, Giano, mean this in good faith? Yes, in faith, my lord. Our feast will be much honored by your marriage. We will wager with them for the first boy for 1,000 ducats. What? And put the stake down? No, we shall never win at that game if we put the stake down. But who comes here? Lorenzo and his unbeliever. And what, my old Venetian friend, Salerio? Lorenzo, Jessica, and Salerio enter. Lorenzo and Salerio, welcome here, if the fresh authority of my new interest in this house gives me power to welcome you. With your permission, sweet Portia, I bid my very friends and countrymen welcome. So do I, my lord. They are entirely welcome. I thank your honor. For my part, my lord, I did not intend to see you here, but I met Salerio on the way, and he urged me past all refusal to come along with him. I did, my lord, and I have reason for it. Signor Antonio sends his regards to you. Salerio gives Bassanio a letter. Before I open his letter, I pray you, tell me how my good friend is. Not sick, my lord, unless it is in his mind, nor well unless it is in his mind. His letter there will show you his condition. Bassanio opens the letter. Nerissa, cheer that stranger there. Bid her welcome. Your hand, Salerio. What is the news from Venice? How is that princely merchant, good Antonio? I know he will be glad of our success. We are the Jasons. We have won the fleece. I wish you had won the fleece that he has lost. There is some harsh news in that paper, for it steals the color from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend must be dead, or nothing in the world could so change the nature of any steady man. What worse and worse? By your leave, Bassanio, I am half of you, and I must freely have my half of anything that paper brings you. Oh, sweet Portia, here are some of the most unpleasant words that ever stained paper. Gentle lady, when I first told you of my love, I honestly told you that all the wealth I had ran in my veins. I was a gentleman. And then I told you the truth. And yet, dear lady, while I valued myself at nothing, you shall see how much I boasted. When I told you my estate was nothing, I should have told you I was worse than nothing, for indeed I have pledged myself to a dear friend, and pledged my friend to his plain enemy, to supply my means. Here is a letter, lady, the paper like the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound pouring out life-blood. But is it true, Salerio? Have all his ventures failed? Not one succeeded? From Tripolis, from Mexico, and England, from Lisbon, Barbary, and India, and not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of rocks that ruin merchants? Not one, my lord. Besides, it appears that even if he had the money now to pay the Jew, he would not take it. I never knew any creature in the shape of a man so sharp and greedy to destroy another man. He presses the Duke morning and night, and threatens the freedom of the state if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the most powerful nobles have all tried to persuade him, but none can turn him from his bitter claim of forfeiture, justice, and his bond. When I was with him, I heard him swear to Tubal and to Chus, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the money Antonio owes him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power do not prevent it, things will go hard for poor Antonio. Is this your dear friend who is in such trouble? The dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best, natured and most tireless spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the old Roman honor appears more clearly than in anyone now breathing in Italy. What sum does he owe the Jew? For me 3,000 ducats. What, no more? Pay him 6,000 and cancel the bond. Double 6,000, and then triple that, before a friend of this quality shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First come with me to church and call me wife, and then go away to Venice to your friend. For you shall never lie by Portia's side with an uneasy soul. You shall have gold enough to pay the petty debt 20 times over. When it is paid, bring your true friend back with you. My maid Narissa and I, meanwhile, will live like maids and widows. Come away. You must leave on your wedding day. Welcome your friends, keep a cheerful face. Since you were dearly bought, I will love you dearly. But let me hear your friend's letter. Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all been lost, my creditors grow cruel, my estate is very low, my bond to the Jew is forfeited, and since it is impossible that I should live if I pay it, all debts are cleared between you and me, if only I may see you at my death. Nevertheless, do as you please. If your love does not persuade you to come, do not let my letter persuade you. O love, settle every business quickly and be gone. Since I have your kind permission to go, I will make haste, but until I return, no bed shall ever be blamed for keeping me, and no rest shall come between us two. They all exit. Shylock enters with Celerino, Antonio, and a jailer. Jailer, watch him carefully. Do not talk to me about mercy. This is the fool who lent out money for nothing. Jailer, keep your eye on him. Hear me a little longer, good Shylock. I will have my bond. Do not speak against my bond. I have sworn an oath that I will have my bond. You called me a dog before you had a reason. Now that I am a dog, beware my teeth. The Duke shall give me justice. I wonder at you, foolish jailer, for being so weak as to bring him out at his request. Please hear me speak. I will have my bond. I will not hear you speak. I will have my bond, so say no more. I will not be made into some soft, dim-eyed fool who shakes his head, gives in sighs, and yields to Christian pleas. Do not follow me. I will hear no talking. I will have my bond. Shylock exits. He is the hardest-hearted cur that ever lived among men. Leave him alone. I will follow him no more with useless prayers. He wants my life, and I know his reason well. Many times I have rescued people from his forfeitures when they came to me in distress. That is why he hates me. I am sure the Duke will never allow this penalty to stand. The Duke cannot deny the course of law. If the rights that foreign merchants have with us in Venice were denied, it would badly damage the justice of the state, since the city's trade and profit depend on all nations. So let us go. These sorrows and losses have worn me down so much that tomorrow I shall scarcely have a pound of flesh left to spare for my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, go on. I pray God Bassanio comes to see me pay his debt, then I do not care what happens. They exit. In Belmont, in a room in Portia's house, Portia enters with Narissa, Lorenzo, Jessica, and Balthazar. Madam, though I say it in your presence, you have a noble and true understanding of godlike friendship, and it shows most clearly in the way you bear your husband's absence. But if you knew the man to whom you show this honor, what a true gentleman you are sending help to, and how dear a friend he is to my lord your husband, I know you would be even prouder of this deed than ordinary generosity could make you. I have never regretted doing good, and I shall not now. Among companions who live together and spend their time together, whose souls are yoked equally in love, there must be some likeness in features, manners, and spirit. That makes me think that this Antonio, being the dearest friend of my lord, must be like my lord. If so, how small is the cost I have spent to rescue the likeness of my own soul from hellish cruelty. This comes too close to praising myself, so no more of it. Listen to other matters. Lorenzo, I place in your hands the care and management of my house until my lord returns. For my own part, I have breathed a secret vow toward heaven to live in prayer and contemplation, attended only by Narissa here, until her husband and my lord return. There is a monastery 2 miles away, and there we will stay. I ask you not to refuse this duty, which my love and some necessity now lay upon you. Madam, with all my heart I shall obey you in every honorable command. My people already know my will, and they will acknowledge you and Jessica in place of Lord Bassanio and myself. So farewell until we meet again. May fair thoughts and happy hours attend you. I wish your ladyship every contentment of heart. I thank you for your wish, and I am pleased to wish the same back to you. Farewell, Jessica. Jessica and Lorenzo exit. Now, Balthazar, as I have always found you honest and true, let me find you so still. Take this letter, and use every effort a man can use to hurry to Padua. See that you deliver it into the hands of my cousin Dr. Bellerio. Whatever notes and garments he gives you, bring them, I beg you, with imagined speed to the Trajict, the common ferry that goes to Venice. Waste no time in words, but be gone. I shall be there before you. Madam, I go with all proper speed. Balthazar exits. Come, Narissa. I have work in hand that you do not yet know about. We will see our husbands before they think of us. Shall they see us? They shall, Narissa, but dressed in such a fashion that they will think we possess what we lack. I will bet you anything that, when we are both dressed like young men, I will prove the better looking fellow of the two. I will wear my dagger with a braver grace, speak in a reed, like voice between boy and man, turn 2 tiny steps into a manly stride, and talk of fights like a fine bragging youth. I will tell clever lies about how honorable ladies sought my love, and how, when I refused them, they grew sick and died. I could not help it. Then I will repent and wish, for all that I had not killed them. I will tell 20 such small lies, until men swear I have been away from school for about a year. I have 1,000 crude tricks of these swaggering young fellows in my mind, and I will practice them. Why, shall we turn into men? Fie, what a question that would be if you were near some indecent interpreter. But come, I will tell you my whole plan in the coach, which waits for us at the park gate. So hurry away, for we must cover 20 miles today. They exit. Launcelot and Jessica enter a garden. Yes, truly, look, the sins of the father are laid upon the children, and so I promise you I fear for you. I have always spoken plainly with you, and now I speak my troubled opinion of the matter. So take heart, though truly I think you are damned. There is only one hope that can do you any good, and even that is a sort of bastard hope. And what hope is that, please? Why, you may partly hope that your father did not beget you, and that you are not the Jew's daughter. That would indeed be a bastard hope. Then the sins of my mother would be visited on me. Truly then, I fear you are damned by both father and mother. When I avoid Scylla, your father, I fall into Charybdis, your mother. Well, you are lost both ways. I shall be saved by my husband. He has made me a Christian. Truly then, he is all the more to blame. We had enough Christians before, just as many as could comfortably live among one another. This making of Christians will raise the price of pigs. If we all become pork eaters, before long we will not be able to buy a slice of bacon for the fire at any price. Lorenzo enters. I will tell my husband, Launcelot, what you say. Here he comes. I shall soon grow jealous of you, Launcelot, if you keep drawing my wife into corners like this. No, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Launcelot and I have quarreled. He tells me plainly there is no mercy for me in heaven because I am a Jew's daughter, and he says you are not a good member of the Commonwealth, because by converting Jews to Christians you raise the price of pork. I can answer for that to the Commonwealth better than you can answer for getting the Negro's belly swollen. The Moor is pregnant by you, Launcelot. It is a great thing that the Moor should be more than reason, but if she is less than an honest woman, then she is indeed more than I took her for. How every fool can play with words! I think the finest grace of wit will soon turn into silence, and conversation will be commendable in none but parrots. Go in, sirrah, tell them to prepare for dinner. That is done, sir, they all have stomachs. Good Lord, what a snapper up of wit you are! Then tell them to prepare dinner. That is done too, sir, only cover is the word. Will you cover it then, sir? Not so either, sir. I know my duty. Still more quarrelling with the occasion. Will you show the whole wealth of your wit in a single instant? Please understand a plain man in his plain meaning. Go to your fellows, tell them to cover the table, serve the meat, and we will come in to dinner. As for the table, sir, it shall be served in. As for the meat, sir, it shall be covered. As for your coming into dinner, sir, why, let that be governed by moods and fancies. Launcelot exits. Oh dear discretion, how his words are dressed! The fool has planted in his memory an army of fine words, and I know many fools in higher places, decked out like him, who for the sake of a clever word defy the real matter. How are you, Jessica? And now, good sweet, tell me your opinion. How do you like the Lord Bassanio's wife? Beyond all expression. It is very fitting that the Lord Bassanio should live an upright life, for having such a blessing in his lady he finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he does not deserve it, then by reason he should never come to heaven. Why, if two gods were to play some heavenly contest and wager two earthly women, and Portia were one of them, something else would have to be pawned with the other, for this poor, rough world has no equal to her. You have just such a husband in me as she is a wife to him. No, but ask my opinion of that too. I will soon. First let us go to dinner. No, let me praise you while I still have an appetite. No, please, let it serve for table talk. Then, however, you speak among the other dishes, I shall digest it. Well, I will set you forth. They exit. The Duke, the Magnificos, Antonio, Bassanio, Graiano, Salerio, and others enter a court of justice in Venice. Is Antonio here? Ready, if it please your grace. I am sorry for you. You have come to answer a hard-hearted opponent, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity and entirely empty of mercy. I have heard that your grace has taken great pains to soften his harsh course. But since he remains stubborn, and no lawful means can carry me beyond the reach of his hatred, I set my patience against his fury. I am armed to suffer, with a quiet spirit, the full tyranny and rage of his will. Go, someone, and call the Jew into the court. He is ready at the door. He comes, my lord. Shylock enters. Make room, and let him stand before us. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that you are only carrying this show of malice to the last possible moment, and that then people believe you will show mercy and remorse even more astonishing than your strange apparent cruelty. Where you now demand the penalty, a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, you will not only release the forfeiture, but touched by human gentleness and love, forgive part of the principal as well, looking with pity on the losses that have lately crowded on his back, enough to crush a royal merchant and draw compassion for his condition from brass-hearted men, flint-hearted men, stubborn Turks and Tartars never trained in acts of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew. I have already told your grace what I intend, and by our holy Sabbath I have sworn to have what is due, the forfeiture of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger fall upon your charter and your city's freedom. You will ask me why I would rather have a weight of carrion flesh than receive 3,000 ducats. I will not answer that, except to say it is my disposition. Is that an answer? What if my house is troubled by a rat, and I choose to pay 10,000 ducats to have it poisoned? Are you answered yet? Some men cannot bear a roasted pig with its mouth open. Some are driven mad at the sight of a cat. Others, when the bagpipe drones through the nose, cannot control themselves. Feeling, mistress of passion, sways passion toward whatever it likes or loathes. So here is your answer. Just as no firm reason can be given why one man cannot endure a gaping pig, another a harmless necessary cat, another a woolen bagpipe, but each must helplessly suffer such shame as to offend, because he himself is offended, so I can give no reason, and I will give none, beyond the settled hatred and certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I pursue this losing suit against him. Are you answered? This is no answer, you unfeeling man, to excuse the rush of your cruelty. I am not bound to please you with my answer. Do all men kill the things they do not love? Does any man hate a thing he would not kill? Every offense is not hatred at first. What, would you have a serpent sting you twice? I beg you, remember that you are arguing with the Jew. You might as well stand on the shore and command the ocean tide to lower its usual height. You might as well question the wolf about why he made the ewe cry for her lamb. You might as well forbid the mountain pines to shake their high tops and make no noise when the winds of heaven tear at them. You might as well attempt anything most difficult as try to soften what is harder than anything, his Jewish heart. Therefore I beg you make no more offers, use no further means. With all brief and plain convenience, let me have judgment, and let the Jew have his will. For your 3,000 ducats, here are 6. If every ducat and 6,000 ducats were divided into 6 parts, and every part were a ducat, I would not take them. I would have my bond. How can you hope for mercy when you show none? What judgment should I fear when I do no wrong? You have among you many purchased slaves, whom you use for low and servile tasks, like your donkeys, dogs, and mules, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs? Why do they sweat under burdens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours, and let their mouths taste the same rich food? You will answer, the slaves are ours. So I answer you, the pound of flesh I demand from him is dearly bought. It is mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, shame on your law. There is no strength in the decrees of Venice. Hand for judgment. Answer me, shall I have it? By my authority I may dismiss this court, unless Bellerio, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to decide this matter, comes here today. My lord, a messenger is waiting outside with letters from the doctor, newly arrived from Padua. Bring us the letters. Call the messenger. Take heart, Antonio. Come, man, keep courage. The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all before you lose one drop of blood for me. I am the diseased ram of the flock, most fit for death. The weakest fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot be better employed, Bassanio, than to live on and write my epitaph. Nerissa enters dressed like a lawyer's clerk. Have you come from Padua, from Bellerio? From both, my lord. Bellerio greets your grace. She presents a letter. Why are you sharpening your knife so eagerly? At the forfeiture from that bankrupt there. Not on your soul, but on your soul, harsh Jew, you make your knife sharp. No metal, not even the executioner's axe, can be half as sharp as your bitter malice. Can no prayers pierce you? No, none that you have wit enough to make. Oh, be damned, unspeakable dog. Let justice itself be accused for sparing your life. You almost make me waver in my faith and agree with Pythagoras that the souls of animals pass into the bodies of men. Your dog-like spirit once ruled a wolf hanged for killing humans. From the gallows its cruel soul fled, and while you lay in your unholy mother's womb, it entered you. Your desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. Until you can rail the seal off my bond, you only hurt your lungs by speaking so loudly. Mend your wit, good youth, or it will fall into incurable ruin. I stand here for law. This letter from Bellerio recommends a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he? He is waiting close by, to know your answer whether you will admit him. With all my heart. 3 or 4 of you, go and courteously escort him to this place. Meanwhile, the court shall hear Bellerio's letter. Your grace should understand that when I received your letter I was very sick. But at the very moment your messenger came, a young doctor of Rome was visiting me in friendship. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the dispute between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We looked through many books together. He is supplied with my opinion, and his own learning, whose greatness I cannot praise enough, improves upon it. At my urging he comes to fulfill your grace's request in my place. I beg you, do not let his youth prevent you from giving him respectful esteem, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance. His trial will better publish his praise. You hear what learned Bellerio writes, and here I think the doctor comes. Portia enters dressed like a doctor of laws. Give me your hand. Do you come from old Bellerio? I do, my lord. You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the dispute that is now before this court? I am thoroughly informed of the case. Which one is the merchant here, and which the Jew? Antonio and old Shylock, both come forward. Is your name Shylock? Shylock is my name. Claim you pursue is of a strange kind, yet it stands so within the rules that Venetian law cannot oppose the way you proceed. Antonio, you stand in danger from him, do you not? Yes, so he says. Do you acknowledge the bond? I do. Then the Jew must be merciful. Under what compulsion must I be? Tell me that. The quality of mercy is not forced. It falls like gentle rain from heaven upon the place below. It is twice blessed. It blesses the one who gives it and the one who receives it. It is most powerful in the powerful. It suits a king on his throne better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of earthly power, the sign of awe and majesty, where the dread and fear of kings reside. But mercy is above this sceptred rule. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute of God himself. Earthly power looks most like God's when mercy tempers justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice is your plea, consider this. In the course of justice, none of us would find salvation. We pray for mercy, and that same prayer teaches us all to perform acts of mercy. I have said this much to soften the justice of your claim, which, if you press it, the strict court of Venice must give judgment against the merchant there. Let my deeds fall on my own head. I demand the law, the penalty, and the forfeiture of my bond. Is he not able to pay the money? Yes. Here in court I offer it for him. Yes, twice the sum. If that is not enough, I will bind myself to pay it 10 times over, on penalty of my hands, my head, and my heart. If this is still not enough, then malice must be overpowering truth. I beg you, bend the law once by your authority. To do a great right, do a little wrong, and restrain this cruel devil from having his will. That cannot be. There is no power in Venice that can alter an established decree. It would be recorded as a precedent, and many errors, following that example, would rush into the state. It cannot be. A Daniel come to judgment. Yes, a Daniel. O wise young judge, how I honor you. Please let me look at the bond. Here it is, most reverend doctor, here it is. Shylock, 3 times your money is being offered to you. An oath, an oath. I have sworn an oath in heaven. Shall I put perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice. Why then, this bond is forfeit, and by law the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be cut by him from nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take 3 times your money. Tell me to tear up the bond, when it is paid according to its terms. It is clear you are a worthy judge. You know the law, your interpretation has been most sound. I charge you by the law, of which you are a well-deserving pillar, proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear, there is no power in the tongue of man to change me. I stand here on my bond. Most heartily I beg the court to give the judgment. Then this is how it stands. You must prepare your chest for his knife. O noble judge! O excellent young man! For the intent and purpose of the law fully apply to the penalty, which here appears due upon the bond. That is very true. O wise and upright judge, how much older you are than your looks. Therefore bare your chest. Yes, his breast. So says the bond, does it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart, those are the very words. It is so. Are there scales here to weigh the flesh? I have them ready. Have a surgeon nearby, Shylock, at your expense, to stop his wounds, so he does not bleed to death. Is that named in the bond? It is not expressly stated, but what of that? It would be good for you to do so much out of charity. I cannot find it. It is not in the bond. You merchant, have you anything to say? Very little. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Farewell. Do not grieve that I have fallen into this for you, for in this fortune shows herself kinder than usual. Her custom is to let a ruined man outlive his wealth, to look with hollow eyes and wrinkled brow upon an old age of poverty. From the long penance of such misery, she cuts me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the story of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you, speak well of me when I am dead. And when the tale is told, ask her to judge whether Bassanio did not once have a true friend. Regret only that you must lose your friend. He does not regret that he pays your debt. For if the Jew cuts deep enough, I will pay it instantly with all my heart. Antonio, I am married to a wife who is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not valued by me above your life. I would lose them all, yes, sacrifice them all here to this devil, to deliver you. Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were here to hear you make the offer. I have a wife whom I swear I love. I wish she were in heaven, if she could plead with some power there to change this dog-like Jew. It is well you make that offer behind her back, otherwise the wish would make an uneasy household. These are the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. I wish any man of Barabbas' stock had been her husband rather than a Christian. We are wasting time. I pray you pursue the sentence. Pound of that same merchant's flesh is yours. The court awards it, and the law gives it. Most rightful judge. And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it. Most learned judge. A sentence. Come, prepare. Wait a little. There is something else. This bond gives you here not one jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take your bond, then. Take your pound of flesh. But in cutting it, if you shed one drop of Christian blood, your lands and goods by the laws of Venice are confiscated to the state of Venice. O upright judge! Mark that, Jew. O learned judge! Is that the law? You shall see the statute yourself. Since you insist on justice, be assured you shall have justice, more than you desire. O learned judge! Mark that, Jew, a learned judge! I take this offer, then. Pay the bond 3 times over and let the Christian go. Here is the money. Softly. The Jew shall have all justice. Softly, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty. O Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge. Therefore prepare yourself to cut off the flesh. Shed no blood, and cut neither less nor more, but exactly a pound of flesh. If you take more or less than a just pound, even by so much as makes it light or heavy in substance, or by the 20th part of one poor scruple, know if the scale turns by the weight of a hair, you die, and all your goods are confiscated. A second Daniel, a Daniel Jew. Now, unbeliever, I have you at my mercy. Why does the Jew pause? Take your forfeiture. Give me my principal, and let me go. I have it ready for you. Here it is. He has refused it in open court. He shall have only justice and his bond. A Daniel still, I say, a second Daniel. I thank you, Jew, for teaching me that word. Shall I not have even my principal? You shall have nothing but the forfeiture to be taken at your own peril, Jew. Why, then let the devil make profit of it. I will stay for no more discussion.
And there we pause again. Shylock is broken, stripped of his wealth and his faith, and sent away a ruined man, while the Christians celebrate. It is a victory, and a deeply uncomfortable one, and Shakespeare, to his eternal credit, lets us feel both. Next time, in Part 4, the play remembers it is a comedy, and dances back to moonlit Belmont for a last sweet trick with 2 wedding rings. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.